So everything set, Shailaja, now?
Yes, yeah.
Everything set.
Yeah.
You are in Bangalore or it's like
Bangalore.
Bangalore? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So good evening, dear students. So today we will start off with geography only. Actually, I think the last thing I completed was about agriculture and irrigation, I think. And I wanted to actually start with industries, but there are some things which I want to go through properly because there are something called as industrial policies and other things. So I just want to refresh once again. So I will take up one more topic today. Next week, maybe I'll do with the industries as such because it is not totally about that. It is a little different. So I just have to go through certain points over there. So I will take industries next week. This week we'll start with something called as transportation and communication systems, which are very important for the economic development of a country as such. So today we will be talking about the significance of transport, significance of communications, as well as how do they contribute to the economic development of the country as such. So when we say transport and communications, actually these two are called as the lifelines of an economy. How we call certain things for the as lifelines for human beings, same way transport and communication are called as the lifelines of the economy. Why they are called as the lifelines of the economy is that without communication and without transportation, it is not possible. Today, you can see the entire world depending upon transport, depending upon communication. Today, when we talk about the global world or when we are talking about globalization and all that, how do we get to know anything that happens in any corner of the world? Immediately we come to know. Earlier means we used to wait for the newspaper, we used to wait for something else. But today, if something happens in China or something happens in Vietnam or something happens in Brazil or somewhere else, any corner of the world, for example, if you take, you come to know within few seconds, few hours, maybe seconds, within minutes or within hours. The reason is that because of good transportation system. So without communication, at the same time, when we want to travel anywhere, for example, if we want to travel somewhere, earlier people used to wait for the train and other things, but today you can go by road, you can go by anywhere, but you can reach the destination within few hours of time in your own comfort. So when we take these two examples, we can say that why they are called as the lifelines of the economy as such. So without means of communication or without transportation, you cannot imagine about an industry or you cannot talk about any trade. So now suppose if you are purchasing essential commodities, you take fruits, you take vegetables, you take your essential commodities, you take medicines, whatever it is, whatever you want to purchase, you are able to purchase. The reason is that we are having good transportation system by which we are able to get the things from across the country, across the world also. Name a thing that you can buy today. The reason is that because of well-developed transportation system as such. So in a vast country like India, cheap and efficient means of transport is considered to be very, very important for the progress and prosperity of the country. That means even till today also, there are certain remote regions in the country which are not yet connected with the other parts of the country. Especially during the rainy season, we find that there is the connectivity between the villages or the remote areas when you take with the outside world get snapped up because of the fury of floods, or you talk about cyclones or whatever it is. Sometimes the region gets cut off, but sometimes it is okay. But can you imagine the regions which are cut off for entirely for 365 days or for many years? Then it becomes a problematic thing. So the most important that is required in a country which is a developing country, we are not a developed country, we are a developing country where a number of people are poor, and for them to travel across the country, that means north, south, east, west, or whatever it is, when you want to travel, it is required that you require a cheap and efficient transportation systems for the progress and prosperity of the country, as well as the modernization of the country. Modernization always refers to connectivity. If you're not able to connect all the regions with everything, that means that particular region remains backward because they are not connected, they are not aware of the changes. or the government is not able to reach them in order to give them the necessary reforms, whatever it is the government is taking up. So three things are important here. We talk about progress, we talk about prosperity of the country, we also talk about the modernization of the country. Like one of the philosophers says that how can you know about a particular country is that by just looking at the transportation system of that particular country, you can understand that whether that particular country is having that interconnectivity, modernization or not is one of the important things. So this is what you call it as significance of transport and communication, or why they are called as lifelines of an economy as such. So what are the advantages? Suppose if proper transportation system is there in a country, what are the advantages that the country can get? Especially a country like India, which is very vast with 3.28 million square kilometers of area, with so many states, 28 states, 9 union territories, then with so many villages, so many districts, such big area, and with 1.38 billion population, the transportation plays a very important role. So what are the advantages that we derive from the transportation system is that it maintains the cultural thing aspect and the socio-economic development of the country and the sovereignty of the country. Cultural coherence is that suppose if I travel from south to north, then I understand the culture of north. Same way the people coming from northeast or the people coming from northwest or from Jammu and Kashmir or wherever it is, we come to know the culture because we are able to travel and we are going to interact with the people. How do you know the culture of a particular country is that when you travel, when you interact with the people, then only you will understand the culture. So this is where transport helps you to travel from one area to another area. Second one is socio-economic development. What is socio-economic development is that one is that intermingling of the people. You call it as the mainstream of the society. Everyone should be able to brought into the mainstream of the society, provide them the jobs. Today, for example, if you take earlier, we used to have a joint family system. There was no occupational mobility. That is one aspect we talk about in economics. Why modernization took place today? It is because of the occupational mobility. Earlier in ancient times, we used to have joint family system where most of the people, that means in the joint family, the youngsters never used to go away, break from the family. They used to live around that particular area only. So occupational mobility was not there. But today, because of the breaking up of the joint family system, coming up of the nuclear family system, people are going across the country, across the world also. That means earlier in Hindu society or Hinduism, when you talk about, if a person crosses 7 seas, he was removed, he was outcasted from his own religion. He was not allowed to cross, he was not allowed to go. But today, if you take, more than half of India is living in US and in any country of the world. You count anywhere in any place, Indians are available wherever they are. That is what they say, that if you take the population of the world, out of every 5% or 10%, if you take every second person is either Indian or a Chinese, because these two are the most populated countries of the world. So when we talk about socio-economic development is that when people are able to move, pursue their careers as such, that is where it leads to the development of the country. And also the sovereignty of the country. That means we are moving our army. The army is able to guard the borders of the country. It is only because of transportation system. Sometimes that means certain areas, of course, you cannot have access to transportation system, but till there, the army can move over there either by you call it as the Air Force or the Navy. These are the things which will be helping the sovereignty of the country. Once again, what is sovereignty? Can anyone give me the answer? What is sovereignty? Sovereignty is independence.
Please
Where we
reply.
try
Note
to
down the note. Take down the notes and please reply.
If you don't know, you tell me, then I can give you
Repeat.
the answer, children. Don't keep quiet. If you don't know, Not an issue at all. If you don't know anything, you can ask me anytime. You can tell me, ma'am, we do not know. Can you please give an explanation? Because you are all going to write the civils, means you should know each and every aspect of it. These are certain things which play a very important role when you are writing the examination. Sovereignty is at where every country has a right to make its own internal and external policies as such. With whom I want to make a friendship, it is my wish. It is Modi's wish, it is Indian government wish, with whom we want to make friendships. And at the same time, with whom we don't want to make a friendship is our own thing. At the same time, if something happens in India, it is my own internal affair. No country will interfere and say that you should do like this. There no one to say that. It is just like our own family. For example, we have our own family problem. If a third person interferes, we say it is our own family problem. Same way, a country also can say that it is our own internal issue. That is what is sovereignty. Sovereignty means a country has every right to make external and internal policies, and they have every right to protect their independence. So if any country tries to talk anything or say anything against the culture or against a policy or whatever it is, the government has every right to give a fitting reply to that particular country. No country has any right to say anything to the other country. That is what is called as sovereignty. Maintaining the freedom of the country is sovereignty. Clear? Why today no one is talking? Very quiet there. What happened? Early, Sneha, Yashashwini. What happened, ma? Okay. If you are understanding, fine. Yeah? Yes. Okay. The second one is that, as I told you, that transport will help the people to move from one place to another place and enhances the interaction among the people and also the human settlements. That is why today, because of good transportation system, we are able to live in any part of the country. We are not frightened to go in any part of the country because there is proper transportation system. And also understanding of the not only country, world also. That is the reason why we are able to understand the people of other nations, their culture. We are able to know so many things because we are able to move from one place to another place. Also, it helps in agricultural sector and also effective distribution. Like I told you that if you want to get anything, for example, apples are grown only in Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir, but today we are eating apples here also. The reason is that because of the effective distribution system that is being provided by the transportation system from the producing areas to the marketing centers and also other destinations of consumptions without any interruption. As I told you that from wherever it is, north, south, east, west, wherever it is, we are getting everything and we are able to consume them properly without any interruption as such. So the main role played by transportation system is that to get the things from the producing areas to the consumption areas. Consumption is the marketing centers and trying to see that the consumers are able to get the products. Second one is that it also helps the development of industries, mining and industries, because industrialization mainly requires cheap and effective network of transportation, both for getting the raw materials as well as for transporting the finished products, also sometimes assembling of the various raw materials. Like for example, you can talk about a car, you can talk about an aeroplane. You must have heard about HMT. Yes, Ilan.
Could you please repeat? Your voice was breaking.
Actually, the Hindustan Machine Tools Limited is a company which produces even the airplanes and aeroplanes and other things. So what they do is that they make different parts and they all assemble at one place. Assembling means the body of the plane, then inside, and then again you talk about the inside things, the seats and other things. They are all manufactured at different places and they are all assembled at one place as such. So yes, Neha, anything want to say?
Ma'am, actually your voice was breaking. So
Yeah, my internet was it it is not. Now can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Before it was.
Yeah. So should I continue from there? You want me to continue from there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we were discussing about HMT. That is, HMT is Hindustan Machine Tools Limited is a company. You must have heard about that particular company, which
Yes,
actually manufactures aeroplanes. Now, when they make an aeroplane, they don't make it at one place. They are made in different areas and they are all assembled at one place. Now, when you want to assemble at one particular place, you have to get the things to that particular area. So for that, you require cheap and efficient transportation system. If that is not available, then industries cannot be established in the remote areas as such. At the same time, the distribution of manufactured goods also is required. Like I told you, that whatever is manufactured from the production areas to the marketing centers, they have to reach. For that, you require transportation system also. Then it also talks about good marketing system also. When will you get the marketing system? Is that the volume of internal and international trade can be increased when you have good transportation system. That means when you buy, why did we face so many problems during the time of COVID lockdown? Is that because of lockdowns, there was restrictions, they were not allowing the movement of goods from one particular state to another state. That is the reason why we were facing scarcity of goods. So this particular transportation system will help in good marketing centers, by which the increase of sales will be there. That is, the number of goods which are sold will increase a lot if there is a proper transportation system also. Am I clear with that? It also helps in the promotion of urban centers and also urbanization process. There is one sentence in urbanization and industrialization are complementary to one another and go hand in hand. Now, what is the entire sentence meaning? Industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand means wherever industrialization is there, urbanization will be there, or if urbanization is there, industrialization also will be there. Like for example, you take Jamshedpur, Bhilai, Rourkela. These areas actually were considered to be backward areas once upon a time. But once the steel plants have been set up in these particular areas, today they are all called as the urbanized centers. Why they are called as urbanized centers is that once you establish an industry, you require a workforce. So when the labor is there, along with the labor, there are so many things that come into existence: schools, hospitals, colleges, houses, everything will be following. So industrialization and urbanization will follow one another. Sometimes an area becomes urbanized because an industry is set up. But usually the industrialists always prefer urban areas to set up the industries. Am I clear? That is the reason why we say industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. So this also plays that means a good transportation system will help in the promotion of urban centers, and also the urbanization process also reduces the isolation between villages and the regions. Today it is very easy for a villager to come to Hyderabad. They come in the morning, Hyderabad, Bangalore, wherever it is, any city, for example, if you take, they can travel from the villages early in the morning, they come and again they can go back. That means it is reducing the distance, the gap, and the isolation also. Then, as I told you, that people can move, they can commute to different institutions in various capacities. Like it is always said that in Bombay, people travel to Pune. They always go to Pune and work and come back. That means early in the morning they get up, they go. Even in, for example, if you take Hyderabad, for example, people move from Hyderabad to Warangal to Mahabub Nagar. They all take the train in the morning and again come back in the night. That means wherever you want, you can take up your job and you can have the transportation system by which you can reach the destinations very fast also. Then it also plays a very important role in times of emergency, wars, famines, cyclones. You all know that whenever there is a cyclone in our country, they drop the food packets. You all know that through the helicopters, the army, the navy, and all will take up. So the transportation system plays a very important role, especially during the time of wars or cyclones or famines or whatever it is as such. So in the very existence of the nation, as I told you, that one of the philosophers says that if you want to know the progress of a country, just look at the transportation system of that particular country. Definitely you will know what is the development over there. Why Japan is considered to be the best is because of their good transportation system and connectivity, and also you call it as the mobility of the people is very, very important. The people should be able to move from one place to another places. So these are some of the points when we talk about what is the significance of transport and communications and why are they called as the lifelines of the country. Am I clear till here? Yes, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Next we'll talk about, you all know that from the childhood you must have learned that there are 4 types of transportation system. We call it as the roadways, railways, airways, and the waterways as such. Now, when we talk about the road transportation system, now always there is ways, which is a better one. Which is a better one, they say, is that when we compare railways and roadways, hear me? Yeah. Am I clear, ma'am? Yes, children?
Voice was breaking. Now it's okay, ma'am.
That's what, that internet connection is becoming stable. Sometimes it is going and coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now you can hear me, no? Yeah.
Yes.
So now when we compare, always there is a comparison between roadways and railways, and they say that which is a better one. So when we take that particular concept of roadways and railways, for example, India, now there are certain statistical information which you should remember when we talk about the roadways. Now, when we say roadways, India has the largest network of road networks in the country, which is about 44.7 lakh kilometers. This is, I'm talking about 2014 and 15. Maybe it has been increased now also, but you can remember that it has the largest road networks in the country, and they have preceded the railways. That means preferably if you want to go, we prefer the roadways. That is the reason why we say that it has the largest road network in our country. Okay. Next we talk about is that they have an edge over the railways also. Why do they have an edge over the railways? The concept here is that because there are few reasons we give. The first reason we give is that construction cost is very low. Now, when you want to lay a railway track and when you want to lay a road, there is a lot of difference. Laying the road can take place overnight. Usually, you all must be knowing that how a road can be laid on trees. And just now I was reading that Olympic medalist is there, no? What is her name? Loda Vela something her name is. She is a boxer from Assam. Okay. Assam or Mizoram. I'm not very sure. So actually she stays in a village, it seems, which does not have a proper road. So before she comes from Tokyo Olympics, she won a bronze medal in Tokyo Olympics, and before she comes back to India, the villagers over there, they're laying a road. It means about 3.5 kilometers road they are laying from her house so that she can come in a grand manner. They want to welcome her because she has won the bronze medal. So why I am giving this comparison is that laying a railway track will take days, months also. Okay, but whereas if you want to lay a road, it can be done overnight. So construction cost is very less, as well as the what do you call it as maintenance also is very easy. Okay. Second one is that they can transverse, dissected, and also you call it as undulating topography. Now you must have heard about the roads that have been constructed at a very high level of, there is a road called as from Manali to Leh, which is constructed at a height of 4,500 kilometers from the sea level. That means you can construct roads in hilly areas, also in rugged areas where the road. Maybe you can give the example of Tirupati. Many must have visited Tirupati. I think you must have seen how they say that hairpin wind is there and all that. You must have imagined how they must have constructed the roads. Yes, children?
Yes, ma'am.
That is what you call it as undulating topography. Undulating topography is that where they have constructed the roads. Can you lay a railway track over there? Is a question. The roadways can do that, but railways cannot be laid over there. So example you can take is Tirupati, the Ghat roads which you take, or you talk about that Vaishno Devi, if you take, all these are roads which are considered to be very difficult, where you cannot have a railway line at all. Second one is that they can also negotiate higher gradients of slope, and as such they can even, the roads can be laid in between the mountains also. Just now I gave you the example of Manali today, which is considered to be a very tough road, which is laid by the border roads of organization. Then it is also economical in transportation, as a few persons and relatively smaller roads. That means comparatively, if you take the railway ticket and the bus ticket, sometimes, now of course, if you go in a luxury bus, air conditioned bus and all that, nowadays they are saying that the rail ticket and the bus ticket is one and the same. But still, if you go by a normal bus, the amount is very less for a few persons. Suppose if one person wants to go to a smaller distance, he can take a bus. At the same time, small goods, if you want to transport, like for example, if you take the farmers who sell the vegetables and the fruits, usually they take the bus only. They travel by the bus from the villages, they come to the cities, sell the fruits and the vegetables, and they go back. They need not take a train for that. So that way it is very economical for them. Instead of going to the railway station, then taking the ticket, then loading the train, and then it takes a long time. Instead of that, they will travel by the bus itself. So over short distances, it is very easy. Plus, it also provides door-to-door service at the cost of loading and unloading. That means in the cities, of course, you go to the city bus stand, there only you have to get on. But if you take in villages, usually they stop in front of the houses. I don't know how many of you have witnessed that. You must have known about it also. They don't go, they need not get down near the bus stop, usually in the villages, because the bus goes through the villages only. So usually they get down near the doorstep only. They need not even get down near the bus stop also. This facility is provided even only in the roadways as such. Then it is also called as a feeder road. What do you mean by the feeder road? Yes, can anyone tell me why it is called as the feeder road? That means if you want to go to a railway station, you have to go by the road only. Yeah, you cannot jump and go, or you cannot directly reach the railway station. You have to travel, then reach the railway station, then you take the train. Okay, same way you want to go to the airport, you have to take the roadways only. You have to travel, reach the airport, and then catch the flight. That's why roadways are called as the feeder roads to other modes of transport, and they link between the railway stations, seaports, and the airports also. So for every means of transport, roadways will be forming as the link road as such. These are the main important points we say why roadways have an edge over the railways, why they are considered to be better than the railways as such. Am I clear till here? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next one we talk about is that the roads are classified into 6 classes. Today, at present, if you talk about, there are 6 types of roadways in our country. What are they? One is called as a super highways, or it is also called as a golden quadrilateral. Okay, super highways, or it is also called as a golden quadrilateral. Now, what is this golden quadrilateral or super highways? Is that the government has launched a major road development connecting or linking Delhi, Calcutta. It comes like a quadrilateral. If you draw a quadrilateral, how does it come? So it comes from Delhi, Calcutta, then you have Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi. So when you join the dots, you get that quadrilateral. You can join, you can see that on the paper. You can draw it on the paper. So Delhi is here, then Calcutta, then comes Chennai, then again it goes to Mumbai, then again it goes to Delhi. So when you join all those dots, you get it like a quadrilateral. Can you draw and see? Is it clear when I'm saying quadrilateral? So again, I'll repeat: Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi. That is why it is called as a golden quadrilateral. It is a road development project started by the government of India, and by a 6-lane super highways. It has 6 lanes super highways. Nowadays, even Bangalore also, I think that Mysore, when you are going to Mysore, Shelja, am I correct for that? that road has been developed in Mysore, no?
Yeah.
Shailaja?
Yes.
Yeah, that particular link, Mysore only, that one connecting. So that is what is called as a 6 lane. Nowadays, you are all having 6 lanes as such. I think there are so many roads also. Noida is there now. Now there is one more road also which is coming up. So keep a track of all that, because that is what we will ask. The recent ones, which have been developed recently, connecting the north, and there was also a tunnel that was brought about also. That also you should do. Express highways, yes, express highways also you should know. Then what are the new things? What are all the new roads that have been constructed that you have to take? That all you should know, which are the new roads, because what I am telling is a old one. I think time is getting over, I think, Shailaja.
Yes. Yeah. Shall we join again or we'll summarize? Yeah.
Shall I summarize? Then next week I will go on.
10 minutes are there, Shamla. 10 minutes are there.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll join again.